Oh,
What's going
what's
on,
good,
bro?
bro?
Nothing much.
I heard you was on the Coles Live dropping major gems tonight.
Yeah, man. You
Getting
know,
it in tonight?
trying to keep busy, bro.
Yeah, man. That's good.
You
That's
know,
good, man.
I saw you on here. I need a haircut. You need a haircut more than me, so I was like, you know what? Let me join you.
Yo, they were just telling me like, yo, if you can't get a haircut, times are hard. And I'm like, I'm not even trying to get a haircut right now. I'm not taking no chances. I'll get a haircut when America reopens.
Yeah, you got my barber, John the barber. He comes to the office to give me a cut, but
Yeah,
I've been lazy the last couple of days, man.
man. I
I gotta
haven't
go
had a
over there.
cut. I haven't had a cut in probably 6 weeks right now, bro. I'm looking terrible.
Bro, I got a cut last week, bro. This Corona season got me looking like I haven't got a cut in months, and I got fucking gray hairs coming out everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like everybody getting old in Corona, man.
Yeah, man. None of us could get haircuts and dye our beards anymore.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact.
Yeah,
So
man.
so what were you talking about on the Coles Live?
Just talk about deals and different stuff like that, and what we're doing right now, and how to begin, how to start, how to manage, stuff like that.
Good stuff.
Yeah, trying to
So
motivate the people as much as possible, bro.
so look, man, yo, in the comments, I got Caesar right here, right now. Caesar don't come on live often. Jenny the
I know.
boss.
He's in the mood right now. He's in the
He's
Yeah,
mood.
definitely
I'm like, you
he's
know
de-
what? I got one. Let's do another one. Let's do
He's
another
in
one.
the mood.
I'm like a
He
caveman. I'm
was
just
like,
learning about life.
he was on there for like 35 minutes just talking.
Really, Caesar. This is a new Caesar, man. You never get on live.
Wow.
Fuck it. Get on live. Look, we got Jenny tips and we got Caesar. We got two
That's
for
right.
one. Y'all better ask these questions in the comments right now. I wish we could do three ways on live. Pause. But I wish we can do that on lives. So that way we can bring extra people on.
I just wish the lives could have filters.
No.
I think you can put a filter on the live.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, look, you can. Nah, you can put a filter. Look, see, I got a
Oh,
filter.
I think we need a. Oh, there it goes. This is much better.
Yeah, you can do
This is
filters.
Caesar's face when he finds a good deal.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, no, hold on. I didn't even wait. Hold on. What's this? Oh no, I don't like that. That's like the devil. I don't like that.
Hold on. Oh,
Okay.
this is my favorite right here.
This was dope.
This is
Okay.
like that music
That
video.
music video from
The
Take
80s.
Me Home.
Take
Okay.
on
Yeah.
me. Take
Take
on
on
me.
me. I
Take
always
on
say
me.
take me on.
Yeah. That's pretty dope. All right. So let's answer a couple people's questions because
Go for it.
they going crazy. So yo, if y'all have a question for Caesar, hit the question mark box, and I'm gonna bring your question on. Right?
I got my eyes on because I can't, so I can see the questions better.
Nah, I'm gonna answer them right here. You see it on the screen now.
I can't see it.
Do you have to pay to refinance? Is that a thing?
Closing
What?
costs.
Yeah, you got to pay to refi. Ain't nothing free. Closing costs. All right, let's go to the
Yeah.
next question.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the next question. All right, Mr. Cityscape, how can I get started?
You got to go out there. You got to make sure your credit's right. You got to find a deal. Make sure if you're gonna go full doc, you need 2 years tax. Well, these are your questions, Matt.
Well, they want to know how you're gonna stay started with building up a real estate portfolio.
You got to go out there and look. It depends what you're looking for. I get a lot of my deals from auction.com, Hubzu, Zone, Fannie Mae, Home Path, stuff like that. But it all depends, what market you're in, what you're looking for. If you're looking for a flip, if you're looking for a rental, it all depends. All right, you take the eyes off. I just realized I was talking.
All right, so we got that question. All right, let's see. Boom. Do I need an LLC?
Well, remember your first deal. If you go FHA, it got to be under your personal name. So, once you're doing investment deals, then yes, you need an LLC.
All right. Is Newark, New Jersey a good market?
Newark, New Jersey is a great market.
If you know how to fight.
The only thing is at this point it's oversaturated. What she means is you got to fight with a lot of investors because there's a lot of investors out there.
That's not what I meant.
But
I don't think she meant that either, Caesar.
Newark is a great place. You can get a great return on your investment over there. But there's a lot of investors, though. It's one of those places where it's kind of oversaturated already because a lot of people already know about Newark. Everybody's looking at Newark. So can you get the cheapest deal? No, but you can get a decent deal.
All right. Do you fear over leveraging, and how do you prevent it?
Nah, man. Pretty much one of the keys in real estate, right, to take it to the next level, you got to learn how to leverage your money. When I first started, I didn't know that part because I came in the game with no mentors, nobody really teaching me anything. So the first couple of deals, it was all the money that I had. Till year two is when I learned about private financing and hard money loans, and that's when I took it to the next level and I started leveraging my money. And I went from buying 1 to 2 houses at a time to buying 20.
Guys, if you have questions, hit the question mark. Hit the question mark and type it there, and I'm gonna bring it on. All right, here's another one. If I use auction.com, do I have to have all the money or be pre-approved for a loan?
Okay, auction.com, when you look at the property, it says on the corner, usually the right corner, it'll say cash only or mortgage welcome or something like that, or financing welcome or whatever, right? So even when it says cash only, technically cash, I don't know, most people don't understand that cash and hard money loans means the same thing. So you can still use some kind of financing for that deal. So you can still finance the deal even if it says cash because hard money is the same as cash.
What's your thoughts on commercial real estate?
I love commercial. Commercial is how you get to the next level. That's the biggest deals that I've done and the biggest return that I got in my real estate career has been for commercial properties. Because commercial properties are based on the income of the property. So it's not based on marketable sales or comps like anything that's under 5 units and under. So it's based on the income of the property. So if a property is making $100,000 a year, that means it's worth $1 million, and you're getting that property, pretty cheap, then it's a good deal.
What do you think is the best state to invest in?
Of course, I love New Jersey. That's where I'm at. I like right now New Jersey, Atlanta, and Chicago are the main places I'm focusing on.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Scary time to invest in real estate. Any advice?
It's not a scary time to invest in real estate, right? Because people don't understand. A lot of people are thinking back that we're in 2008, right? In that era when I first started, which was when everybody was running away from real estate, where you had to bribe an appraiser for a property to appraise. I mean, it was impossible to get 4 good comps to get value on a property, right? That was that era when I started. Right now, what you're going through, what the market's going through, residential real estate, commercial real estate is not being affected because rates are so low. The values aren't dropping, and this isn't going to last long enough where it's going to affect real estate that much. Of course, Airbnb market, hotel market, retail market, that's destroyed right now, right? When I mean retail, I mean like, malls, strip malls, because, a lot of these businesses, smaller businesses, they're not going to open back up. If they were at the brink of closing the doors, they're not coming back, right? So I think that side of real estate, it's where, it's going to get hit the hardest. As far as your single family homes, flipping single family homes, multifamily development, none of that is getting affected because rates are too low. It's ridiculous how cheap money is right now. So that's actually, once people feel comfortable and they're going to come back out once this buyer season starts, which hopefully that'll be in the next month and a half or so, right? Because we're a little delayed right now. The market's going to go crazy with this cheap money. It's going to be insane.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's get another one in here. All right, what's this one? How can I convert a personal property loan currently rented into an LLC to build LLC credit?
Well, pretty much that's an attorney question. It depends what kind of loan you have, because like you were telling me, you can't do that with an FHA.
Correct.
Conventional, it depends on the bank. The smaller banks now, though, are pretty cool about it, because before, a lot of them wouldn't let you change title to the property to an LLC after you bought it under your personal name. But now I'm seeing the smaller banks, like these credit unions and stuff like that, they kind of hip to that and they'll let you do it. But it all depends on the bank too.
Guys, if you have questions, hit that question mark box so I can bring them on the screen. Best way to get loans, Caesar?
Dude, they're on your live right now. You got the guy right here.
Exactly. How do you pay yourself out of your LLC without getting into tax trouble? Good question.
Well, it all depends what you want to do. You could have a I have separate companies from everything. So even where I draw my salary or where I pay my employees from, it's a separate LLC that doesn't own any real estate. So I keep everything separate like that. So it's kind of like a holding company kind of thing. But you could just give yourself a salary. And if you really want to, like even at this point now, me giving myself a salary, I really wanted to, I could probably collect unemployment. But I'm not gonna do that.
You can really hack the system, huh?
Yeah, you can really hack the system if you really want to.
Best contractors to hire. What to look for?
Dude, the hardest part of this business, like I tell everybody, is dealing with contractors and finding an honest contractor. I would have a contractor show me their resume. Let me speak to the last 3 or 4 clients that they've done work for. Show me the work they've done. So like that, you can fill them out. And the most important thing is learning costs yourself. You have to learn what things cost yourself.
Agreed. Got to learn the game.
You got to learn. And it's easy nowadays. When I first started, you barely had a fucking smartphone. I think that's when the first iPhone came out. So now, man, you have everything out there. Like, it's easy to get this information. Everything is out there.
Is Camden, New Jersey a good market to invest in?
Camden, is rough, but it's changing. Remember, because at the end of the day, Camden is one of those places, kind of like Atlantic City, where it's waterfront. So anything on the water always comes back, and they are going to pump a lot of money into it. I know the state is pumping a lot of money into Camden, so I think, yes. Have I invested down there? No, I have not. I'm looking at it from a distance, and I think there is going to be a lot of opportunity there. But I'm not there yet.
Okay. What is MG the mortgage guy sipping? White Hennessy.
He's fancy.
Okay. Here's a quick question. How many properties do you suggest under each LLC?
You know what? That's the problem with that, right? It's kind of a hard question to ask because now a lot of banks are different, right? So if you have, let's say, 5 3-families, right? And you go to refinance, you might have one bank that tells you, all right, I want you to do a portfolio loan and put all 5 of these properties under this LLC, right? On my bigger properties, anything 10 units and up, I separate each one of those into one LLC. So it all depends, and it depends on the bank you're dealing with too.
Okay, good question. Let's see. I just had another good question up here. Where is it? I just saw it. Is it better to get an LLC for each investment? You kind of just answered that one.
Yeah.
Let me skip that one. Let me see. Okay. How about this one? Is Connecticut a good market to purchase?
Yes, I like. Jess lives in Bridgeport, and I've been looking at Bridgeport a little bit. I got a couple friends out there, and it's definitely a good rental market. It's pretty decent, and the return on your investment is pretty good. That part of it, because that's kind of I like the urban areas, bro. So that's why Bridgeport's a little urban, so you still have opportunity there. It still hasn't taken off, so I like that part of Connecticut. Is
it best to buy a move-in ready duplex or one that needs to be remodeled? Good question.
It all depends how comfortable you are. If you want that first easy deal, just take over, no headaches, get cash flow right away, then I will get the one that's already rented and remodeled. But if you want to build equity and you want to be able to go in there and add value to the property, right? Fix it, rent it, and then cash out and take that money out and buy more properties, then I will go for that rehab deal. It all depends on your comfort level. That's really what it comes down to.
Okay, so what about mixed use? Keisha asks.
Oh, I own a lot of mixed use properties, but I will tell you the truth. Right now, out of all my properties that I'm, this whole Corona thing is going, the tenants that got hit the hardest are my mixed use tenants. My retail tenants, my barber shops, my hair salons. My cash checking places. These places are the ones that aren't paying me rent right now, which I have to work with, right? Which we are all human and we have to do that. My residential tenants have been great compared to everything else across the board in my portfolio.
Is wholesaling a good way to start a business as a new investor to learn the real estate business?
It depends what market you're in. Me with wholesalers, bro, like I'll be honest, I told you before, if you don't got skin in the game, I ain't messing with you. You know what I mean? I just don't, making money out of nothing. Like I come from a different world where, you put your little bit of dollars here so you can make some dollars. The wholesale thing is kind of one of those things. I'm not knocking it. And it does work in certain states, but I think the tri-state area for us, it doesn't make sense because the price point is so high. If you're in a place like Detroit, Cleveland, Milwaukee, those places, it makes sense because you're only talking about a couple thousand. You get something for 10, you sell it for 15, and you make a nice profit. Over here by us, it's too saturated, and the price point is too high for the wholesale thing to work. That's just my opinion.
Do you use land trusts?
No, not at all.
Is Patterson a bad city to invest in?
Hell no. That's where I made my fortune at. That's where my man Lord of the Suns made his money at, and a lot of other investors have made money at. And Patterson is only going up. The values are only going up. And, sad to say it, but it is getting gentrified. Little by little, it will change. And pretty much North Jersey, in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't think you'll get any place where you can rent for less than $2,000. And that's just the bottom line.
For commercial real estate, how can I learn more about the process?
You can look it up on Google and stuff like that. A good commercial to find deals for commercial properties. I go a lot on City Feet. I bought deals and I see a lot of deals on City Feet. And City Feet is national. You can look around for deals around the country. What I like about commercial is that commercial is based on the income of the property, not on marketable sales. So you could pretty much take with that formula, you can know what a building in Atlanta is worth, what a building in California, or what a building in New York is worth, but just looking at the computer, based on the income of the property.
Are you using LoopNet?
I don't use LoopNet because I'm a cheap bastard. City Feet is free. LoopNet, you have to it's the same information. I'm sorry, it's the same information. I shouldn't be saying that, but it is. It is what it is.
I'm a cheap bastard. Oh shit!
But Envy's cheaper than me, even though he says that I'm cheap, but he's the one that's really cheap.
Is Tampa a good place to invest in multifamilies?
But I missed a lot of opportunity in Tampa, man. When the market went down, there was a lot of apartment complexes down there, and it was at one point. I think now it's oversaturated, especially Tampa and Orlando. They had a big flood of people from Puerto Rico that have moved there. So they have a lot. I'm talking about a shitload of new developments over there, and luxury rentals. So I think that market's. You could still do, to get a good deal on a rental property. It's tough. Anything in Florida to get multifamily is rough.
How do you vent out a good tenant during these times?
There's no such thing as a good tenant, bro. The tenants that you think are going to be good are the ones that are bad, and the ones that are going to be bad are the ones that are good. Like there's no such thing as a good tenant or a bad tenant. Like I tell in my company, I just tell people it's us against them. We're at war at all times. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You don't know who's going to be who, because no matter what, I don't care if it's the best tenant in the world or the worst tenant. When that 1st to the 5th to the month comes, they all got complaints and they don't like paying. I don't care who it is. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm keeping it 100% with you. With tenants, it's you against them. And that's what it is. Bobbing and weaving. Bobbing and weaving. And the ones that you think are going to be good are the ones that are bad. So at this point, you can't judge anybody, because you never know. You do your due diligence. You do your numbers as much as possible, So, you try to see how much the person makes, make sure they have reserves. You can kind of calculate their income and make sure they're not above water by renting your apartment. But at the end of the day, you never know who's going to be a good tenant. You never know who's going to be a bad tenant. It doesn't exist.
Shout out to JLex Beauty. Any feedback on Boston real estate?
I like Boston. But I think Boston's expensive too. Somebody just said about Passaic. I own a lot of property in Passaic. I love Passaic. Passaic's a great city. Hector Laura the Mayor over there's my boy. Um, but it's hard, you know. You're not gonna get deals as cheap as like Newark or Patterson or East Orange or Passaic. Passaic is one of those places where the market never really went down that much. But you also get a great rent in Passaic though. The rents are pretty high compared to Newark, Patterson, or East Orange.
Do you go to the courthouse personally to bid, or do you do online through auction.com?
I don't go to the courthouse. I haven't been there in years. Before you were able to get good deals, and I'm just talking about New Jersey, right? I'm talking about New Jersey right now with my experience with courthouses. But now you have instead of having 10 guys and they're the same 10 guys every week bidding on properties, now you got 100 guys or 200 guys. So now everything is going overpriced. So it makes no sense to even go to the courthouse anymore in New
Shout out,
Jersey.
shout out to Real Mama Dawn. I see you, Queen. She says, hats off, Tom. Your story is amazing, and more people need to hear it. You are living proof of what can be done. Salute to you. She got the throwing the hands up emoji and the heart sign at the end too.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you.
Shout out to Real Mama Dawn. And her question is, how do you feel about partnering with friends to buy property? What's your experience?
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. To get that first deal done, I don't care if you got 10 people on that deed. You got to make it happen. Partnerships are crucial in different aspects of the business. I will always partner up with people. I wouldn't partner down. So you never want to partner with somebody that has less than you. You kind of want to partner with somebody that you guys are kind of like on the same level.
Mm.
I will give that advice. But there's nothing wrong with partnerships to get a deal done. There's nothing wrong with that.
What's a good amount to start a rental deal?
It depends. You know, it depends if you're gonna do. You know, if you go FHA, you already know you got Matt here. He'll tell you what the number is. You know, it's good to have at least 10 to 20,000 in the bank. But again, every market is different. So it's kind of it's a different question where we're buying a rental property at.
Caesar, would you mentor me or let me shadow you and learn the game?
Hell no. Not yet.
I knew the answer to that one.
Eventually, we're gonna try and do something with mentorship, but not yet. We're not there yet. Especially right now in Corona season, I don't think I want to mentor anybody. But eventually, yeah, we're gonna try to do something. We announced something recently, but it didn't work out because all this shit happened.
Do you guys see the markets crashing like 2008?
Hell no. This is not gonna last that long. Like I think I answered that in the last life. Like like I tell people, 2008, people weren't paying their mortgage for like fucking 8 to 10 years. I still know people in New Jersey that aren't paying their mortgage, bro.
Dude, I know people right now that haven't paid their mortgage since 2011, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's not gonna go on that long, where we're gonna have that that corrections to the market like back then. This is gonna be over. This is gonna be over in another month or two. So.
And you know what? It's just to keep it on this topic real quick. What people don't really understand is that the banks caused the mess in the last recession, and the government didn't. The government was reluctant on helping.
They didn't do nothing.
They didn't do shit, and they didn't want to do shit, but they were forced because they had no choice. Now you see how quick they put together all this relief.
They're pumping money left and right.
They pumping money left and right. This wasn't the same thing like it was 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Everybody's getting Trump dollars right now.
Literally,
for the mailbox, they got a Trump check everywhere.
The Trump checks are coming in full throttle right now.
Them Trump checks, them Trump checks are coming, bro. Trump is getting a lot of fans right now. I gotta admit it, bro. He's getting a lot of fans right now.
What people don't realize, that was branding and marketing 101. This motherfucker was smart as hell for doing that.
He's smart as hell, man. He's
I don't care what nobody say.
It sucks this shit happened, man, because realistically, most people don't like the guy, but we pretty much had one of the best economies we ever had. We had a great economy. It went down. But I think at least that part of it, besides his craziness, we're good that we have a business guy there. Because at least, the U.S., as far as economy, we're going to get back on schedule quicker rather than later.
I agree with that. Is Passaic, New Jersey, a good area to invest in?
Definitely. Do you think lending will be tough because of Corona? Yeah, right now, but we'll be back to normal probably by next month. I think a couple of guidelines have been changing, but you know, you could talk a little bit more on that, but I think we'll get back to what we need to be.
I think we're going to keep going. We're still lending right now. Banks have to make adjustments because people losing jobs and dying.
Yeah.
But I think once we reopen America and things start flowing, you're going to see liquidity coming back into the market full throttle. How do you feel about Section 8?
You know, we could get it, but like Section 8, man, when I first started and you had a Section 8 tenant, it used to be a home run, right? You used to be like, oh man, I got a Section 8 tenant, the money's is coming every month. Because when I first started back then, we used to get like $1,000 cash for a cash tenant, $1,300 for Section 8. So you wanted that Section 8 tenant because you got the extra $300, right? But now, the last couple of years, what most people don't understand, housing authority across the country, they're running out of money. And they're selling out even the properties they own, they're getting rid of a lot of them. So Section 8, and especially in New Jersey, and I spoke to somebody in another state, they told me the same thing. They have frozen rental increases for like the last 5 years. So they're not even giving rental increases. So their actual program, they're still stuck at a place where they're still in that old market. So now, for example, in Patterson, a cash tenant now pays $1,500 to $1,800 when Section 8 is still only paying $1,300. I see the credit dudes on here talking about. I guess somebody said that Trump filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and 50 Cent did a few years. Yeah, but just because you file for bankruptcy or anything like that doesn't mean that you're a loser.
Yeah.
It's part of it's strategy. It's a business strategy. There's been so many people that have filed for bankruptcy and they come back and make more money than before. Just like like what we say at the seminar, right? FHA, hard money is a tool. Bankruptcy is a tool. It's a business tool. That's all it is. So remember, a lot of people, right, in life, you're always gonna have ups and downs, right? So you got to bob and weave. So you might not get it right the first time, but now the second time you come back around, you know a little bit more. You get it right that time. So that's the whole thing too. Everybody makes mistakes.
I wish you could put IRS debt in fucking bankruptcy.
Yeah. Well, you can't get rid of IRS debt, and you can't get rid of school loans.
Yeah.
Bro, school loans, they're worse than the IRS. You can't get rid of them. Like, bro, I know people that like 20 years later, that shit pops up out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you want a loan? Remember 25 years ago, you took out a loan, you pay us.
Absolutely. Have you invested in property outside of the U.S.?
No, I have not. I'm Dominican, and I'm probably one of the only Dominican guys that, successful, doesn't own anything in DR. I don't, I'm not saying you could go somewhere else and make money, but I don't like not having troops on the ground. And every country is very complicated, so there's so many different laws. And like, I know in DR, you buy a property, it takes like 2 years to get a deed, which is crazy. And I know of people that invested in Dominican Republic, and next thing you know, they go back and their property has been flipped 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
Because I remember my aunt, right? It's funny as shit. She left DR in early 90s. She had a piece of land in this, it was like less than an acre, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was in Arroyo Hondo, which is a great part of the Dominican Republic. And by the time she went back 15 years later, now she's going to sell her property to somebody else. They flipped the property in that time frame 4 to 5 times. So now she had to hire an attorney, go back, and thank God she had her deed and fight that whole process to show that she was the owner of that property.
That's crazy.
And that happens, in a lot of different countries, not just DR, but that's the whole thing that I've never done a deal there. One time, one of my friends bought a property over there, and the person that lived next door to the property was actually related to me. And they were putting up the house. Next thing I know, I go over there, and my relatives over there actually took the cinder blocks and made their house bigger. And I'm looking at my boy. I'm like, yo, man, how am I gonna explain to him that it was my fucking aunt and her husband that did this shit to him? Because there's no law.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro, that's what happens. Especially in the Caribbean, man. It's like the Wild Wild West over there.
That's a fact, yo. So
Yeah.
would you recommend converting a one family to a multi-family? Is it worth it?
All day, man. I'll convert anything into a multi-family. Because remember, if you have a one-family home and you rent it, right? And that one tenant doesn't pay you, you're screwed. You got no money coming in. But when you have a multi-family, you have 2 units, 3, 4, 5 units. One tenant doesn't pay, it's not going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty about multi-families.
Okay, so let's see. We got thousands of questions. Let's go to this one. I like this one. Is Philly a good place to invest for rentals?
I don't think so. Just because I love the city of Philly. I think Philly's a great place. But the problem is, your cash on cash return is not good enough. The rents are too low. You know, you get a row home, and pretty much you buy a row home. Whatever you put into it, it's kind of worth almost what you put into it. You don't have that added value that we have in New Jersey or New York or in different markets where you buy something, you fix it, you rent it, you refinance, you cash out. You don't really have that over there.
Okay, good question. Let's see. Okay, let's get this one. How many days on market are you expecting or experiencing your flips right now?
Bro, we're still putting houses up, and they're going on the contract right away. As long as you got a good, clean product, you're gonna go on the contract right away because there's still no inventory. That hasn't changed.
Does unemployment going up impact real estate?
No, it doesn't really matter. I know people are getting more money right now, which is great as far as unemployment. On the tenant side, they're unemployed. I'm happy because they're getting more money they're gonna pay. I mean, the more money everybody gets, everybody's walking around with money now for the next 2 weeks, which is great.
Why do you think it doesn't impact real estate, unemployment going up right now?
It doesn't really impact it because most of the people that file for unemployment are furloughed or laid off. Not everybody really lost their job at one time. You know what I mean? So once the country opens back up, which I was hoping for May 1st, but now I'm saying May 15th, which people are going to go back to work and that number is going to go down.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I think that number's going to drop in half.
Oh, yeah. So it's going to go down like crazy. But, we just got to open back up, man. Like, they need to do something quicker rather than later. I know it sucks the situation, though, man, but I don't think we could take another 4 to 6 weeks of this. I can't take it because, my wife don't cook, man, so I can't go out to eat. That's the only thing I love is going to restaurants, and I can't go out and have a nice dinner anymore. I lost a lot of weight, but I still eat a little bit. I actually eat the different things, man, but right now, and then you get takeout. Takeout don't taste the same.
Nah, it doesn't.
Yeah, man, it's a nightmare. It's like, right now, you remember, I feel like I'm in that was it Chevy Chase, the Groundhog Day?
Yeah,
Chevy Chase?
I think that was, yeah.
Bro, it's the same day over and over. There's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do. And yo, that's crazy that you said that. The food don't taste right. We ordered Red Lobsters today, right? Went and picked it up, and we got home and we ate it, and I'm like, this shit don't even taste good.
Yeah.
Like, I done wasted $100 on Red Lobsters for no damn reason.
Bro, I went to Carbone. Which is one of the best restaurants in New York City, right? It's like a 6-month wait to get a table there, which I always get in because my boy Johnny, shout out to Johnny. But bro, it wasn't the same. I was disappointed, and I am never disappointed in that place. I had it around the country even when I went to Vegas, and it was banging. And I went there, bro, and it wasn't the same, man. And I still went back again anyway, but it wasn't the same. And I went to a couple spots just like that. And then the scary part, too, that I tell people that scares me is how all the Chinese restaurants and Asian restaurants across the country are closed. All the sushi, Korean barbecue, the hood Chinese restaurant, bro, they're all closed. So once in a while, I catch one open, bro, and I'll attack it for a couple of days because, I can't get that. Like, bro, there's like no sushi open right now. There's nothing.
There's nothing.
Which that's a little scary to me, bro, because sometimes I'm like, fuck, man, do they know something we don't? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? It is around the whole country, then around the whole world. They're shut down, all the restaurants, which is, which is kind of weird, man.
Someone asked in the comments, what's your opinion on Grant Cardone?
I think Grant Cardone's a hustler. He's self-made. I respect him. He has one of the biggest funds out there. I think he's a really smart guy. He's a marketing genius, and I like him. He's on a whole different level. We started doing seminars a year and a half ago, 2 years, and that guy, his seminar, bro, it's like, he's a showman, bro. It's he's a showman. Like, you gotta respect the guy. Like, he took that thing to another level, bro, that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm excited to see what he does every year. Yeah, I don't know him, but I definitely look up to him in that space. And I think the guy, what he has, 10,000 units. You know,
Some,
that's
yeah.
very impressive. You know, I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to get, hopefully in the next 5 years, I want to be at 5,000. So he's definitely somebody I look up to.
What's your opinion about hard money lenders right now?
They're pissing me off because the LTVs are back to 2008 levels. A lot of them now, they're pretty much 25% down. When we were getting, you know, 90%. There was even a couple 100% programs a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the thing, though. The secondary market has changed now, which sucks. But I think that's going to come back to in the next couple of weeks.
Agreed. I think once everything opens up and liquidity is flowing again, I think that will open back up. This
But
is
the worst
another.
part is they got bailed out last week, so liquidity's there. Where the money at?
Yeah,
Where
they're
the
just not
money, man? They
lending.
should have came up. Yo, I want to see what you got. $3 trillion. Bring back 100% stated. You know what I mean? Bring that back. You know, y'all getting all this money. Y'all getting bailed out. Come on, man. Give us
Yo,
something.
if that
You know,
shit
excite
comes
us.
back out, there'll be a line outside my door.
Oh, bro, can you imagine if they bring back those programs, man? Yo, I remember when I was at their mortgages back then, my first deal was this lady. She was 80 years old, Social Security, and I got her 100% financing on a $450,000 loan. Stated.
Wow, the
Bro,
good days.
the good old days, bro. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And then it's crazy. She lost, you know, it sucks. She lost that house a couple years later. And I actually picked it up as a foreclosure when I got into my houses. That's me a dick. I'm sorry, but I had to share that story.
Yo,
Bro, there's always opportunity, man. Somebody's you know, missed opportunity is somebody else's opportunity. You know what I mean?
agreed. Top 3 must have before becoming a landlord.
Property manager, project manager, and just you're ahead of the game that you know, I think there's always, as far as a lot of people, right, when they first get their property, they want to go over there and be like, I'm the owner. Blah, 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 blah. You know, this is my house. Boom, boom, boom. That is the worst motherfucking thing you could do, bro. I tell everybody, when you're a landlord, your tenants shouldn't even know who the hell you are. Because when they know who you are, they're going to harass the shit out of you, especially when a new landlord, oh, this is broken, this and that. And they're going to give you more headaches than you can handle. So, in my area, bro, people, before this shit with DJ Envy that I was doing these seminars and people know who I am, most people didn't even know that I own real estate. They thought my brother, that got the strip club, was the owner.
Him and Buka, huh?
Yeah, they thought my brother was the boss. Nobody knew who I was, especially all the strippers. Lots of people know who I am and shit. They're like, oh shit, this guy owns all these properties we never even talked to before. I remember one time, it was funny because they had like a pool party by my old house, and there was a whole bunch of strippers. And then one girl was like, "Oh, you met the man?" And then this girl was like, "Yeah, I met the man, Lucci, right there. He's cool as shit. He's funny." No, he's not the man. Caesar's the man. And she was like that look like, fuck, man, I spoke to the wrong guy.
She got the wrong brother.
Yeah, I got the wrong brother. Shit.
Yo, should I buy a rental property first or primary residence?
Rental property all day. I know before when I first started, remember we talked about this before. There was that FHA thing where you could go from a 4-family to a 3-family to a 2-family. Then eventually you get down, you go to that nice 1-family. But I guess that changed a little bit. Before it used to be easier because we were able to do that in the same city, in the same town, and just go from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. But that doesn't exist anymore. Now you got to go. What is it? 100 miles, or you have to refile the FHA to be able to do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right? It's not as easy as it used to be.
Yeah, you see, right now you got to refi because FHA changed the rules because people were going too crazy.
Yeah.
So they changed the rules. So now you got to refinance out of it.
Yeah, that was easy, man. We killed that shit back then, bro. We used to go, if me and my brother, we could both do FHA. We start with a 4. He starts with a 4, then we go for a 3. He got a 3, I got a 3. You know what I mean? Back and forth. And then eventually, by the time you get to that single family, you got a $500,000 house that's nice as hell. That's already getting paid by all the other property. What's going on with 203K now? Are they coming back, or are they still being a little tight with that? I was actually gonna hit you for somebody else that asked me that question.
It's tight right now.
Yeah.
Majority of the lenders out there are suspending the program. temporarily right now because of COVID-19. There are a handful of lenders that still will offer the case, but I mean, honestly, you can't really close on them shits right now. You can't get appraisals.
Bro,
You can't
it's
get HUD
crazy, man.
control
You gotta get
loans.
an appraiser, home inspector, health consultant.
Yeah,
Bro, I tell people now, it's not even the bank side of it to close the deal. It's
exactly,
getting every single person to the table.
exactly.
It's impossible, bro.
That's the
It's impossible. You know, it's doable, but you know, now you gotta have one guy in one office that signs something, then they go to another office, and to another office.
yeah.
Then attorneys don't want more than two people in the room with them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's different. So a lot of lenders are suspending right now. Handful are still offering, but once everything opens back up, then they'll come back with no problem.
But what do you think about as far as FHA? Did you see what I put up today as far as the appraisals that they're gonna is FHA doing drive-by appraisals or no?
So what you put up in the thing, that's not for conventional FHA loans. That's only for portfolio loans.
Oh, okay. But how
So
about as
that
far as FHA? Are they accepting BPOs now, drive-by BPOs or no?
so so yeah, you can pretty much do like BPOs and drive desk appraisals and drive-bys right now with FHA conventional loans right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least that's good. They're giving you that tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
I mean, and that, yo, bro, that helps out so much that they
oh,
changed those guidelines, bro.
bro,
Like,
you know, I had an appraiser that was driving me crazy with that shit. Then I had tenants too. They're like, oh, we don't want nobody. We don't know this guy got COVID-19 or blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, Jesus Christ.
yeah.
You know, thank God at least they're being, you know, easier with that.
How do you determine if a neighborhood is too rough to buy in and hold?
You know, if you go over there and you see a guy that points a gun at you, I wouldn't buy in that neighborhood. No, I'm just fucking around. But realistically, right, this is the thing that I'm, you know, as far as us as minorities, right, the neighborhoods that we grew up in are not going to be urban or ghetto forever. You know, especially when you're in a big city. If you're near a nearby city, it's always going to change. And we see that happening over and over. There's no such thing as a bad neighborhood, right? You know, and neighborhoods always change. Neighborhoods are always going to get better. You just got to do your research. And, you know, and most of these places is people that look like us, so we can't be scared of our own people. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
You know, and at the end of the day, man, you know, all you gotta do is have a conversation with somebody.
Agreed.
And again, you hire a property manager, so you don't gotta go pick up the rent yourself.
Yeah, you need a Lucci in your life.
Yeah, you need a Lucci and a Chris, you know, to go over there, knock on the door, and a Kyle.
And a cow, definitely.
Yeah, you definitely need a Kyle. You need that guy that looks like Suge Knight that's gonna scare him.
What is creative financing?
Anything that you could create and try to, you know, I'll give you an example. Let's say I get 90% from the bank, right? Let's say I get 90% loan to value, right? And I don't got the other 10%. I could go to the homeowner and see if he'll hold a note for that 10%. Or I could do a joint venture agreement with a family member or a friend and get the 10% from them. Creative financing at its best right there.
Gems. I hope y'all paid attention to that.
That's
gem right
100% financing right there, Matt. You can't, you know, you can't beat that right there. I just told them how to do 100%.
That's a gem right there. I hope y'all paid attention to that. Are there any South Jersey areas to invest in besides Atlantic City?
Atlantic City all day. Camden has some potential. I haven't done all my research on Camden yet. I know a lot of guys that do Trenton. I know there's opportunity in Trenton. There was a guy that I spoke to a couple of times. I think his name is William Holly from Trenton, and he kills it down there.
Biggest flip profit you've seen?
Biggest flip profit. You know what? My biggest refi, $2 million on a commercial property. That was my biggest. As far as flip, I'm a low end flipper kind of guy. I like to stay under 500,000, maybe 750 at most. So my biggest profit will probably be about 250,000.
How do you find hard money lenders?
They're everywhere now. When I first started, they were nowhere. But you know, we got our boy what is it, Kevin Orlando? I forgot what the hell. What is he, Mr. Orlando? I think.
Yeah, Mr. Orlando.
Yeah, Mr. Orlando, he's a good dude. There's a lot of different people. I know you got a couple of connections too that you could point them in the right direction. They're everywhere nowadays. It's not like back when I first started, it was like a secret society to get a hard money lender. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
had to be like connected or stuff, and talk to that Italian guy in the back of the pizza shop kind of thing. Like you had to be let into someone had to lead you into that world. It wasn't that easy.
What's your thoughts on the DC, Baltimore real estate market?
I don't invest down there. I don't see. It's kind of like Philly. It's one of those markets where it doesn't have that kind of market where you can add value to a property. It's pretty much you buy it, you rent it, but you can't really refi or cash out.
What percentage of your portfolio is buy and hold?
Ooh, all of it, pretty much. Remember, like I do like 25 to 30 flips a year. I think this year we're probably gonna end up doing 35, but everything everything is long term.
Is upstate New York worth the investment?
I've never invested in upstate New York. I looked into it before, and there's definitely a lot of opportunity there because you don't need a lot of money to start. But as far as the rental profits, it's not a lot because it's pretty cheap up there. The rents, they're not pretty high at all.
After your flips, you paying capital gains or do you do a 1031 exchange?
1031 exchange, man. Like people always ask me that. That's pretty much when you're later on in life. Not right now when you're doing deals. As far as flipping and capital gains, man, you have to get somebody that's a real, like I'm telling you right now, a real estate accountant, not your guy that does the class and does his taxes in his fucking laptop. You need a guy that has a degree on the wall and knows about real estate. I'll give you an example, which is a funny story. My accountant that I was using tells me one day, she's like, Caesar, I'm like, yeah, you're getting so big that I am learning with you. And I'm looking at her, what the fuck you mean learning with me? She's like, yeah, I'm learning how to do real estate accounting because of you. I'm actually learning. And I'm like, oh, that is not good.
Wow.
So
That's
I'm actually
crazy.
teaching her, and she's the accountant. And I'm like, uh-oh, I got to change accounting. Because, different levels, you can't, you get to a certain level when you're dealing with, God willing, everybody, right, with a couple $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us have that mentality. We don't want to spend money. But you got to spend money on your professionals. So eventually I got to the point where now I have a accountant as a shark. And, yeah, now I'm paying $20,000 a year in accounting instead of paying that $1,000. But the guy's saving me, fucking $500,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not teaching him. He's teaching me. You know what I mean? Like, because, I can't be an accountant. So when an accountant tells you that they're learning from you, you're teaching them, you got a problem.
That's a big-ass problem. Listen,
Yeah.
We got 50 seconds before this live cuts off. Final question. If you had to start all over with $40K, how would you flip it? We got 40 seconds, and the live's going to cut us off.
Bro, if I had to start over, private finance loans, I didn't know. Leverage. Learn how to leverage your money and learn how to take that 40,000 and buy 10 houses instead of one.
There you go. Caesar the Great. Make sure y'all follow Flip in New Jersey from start to flip. Coming back soon as America reopens. Caesar, I appreciate you.
Oh no, we're already here. We're still open. We haven't closed.
No, I'm talking about.
We still collecting rents and looking for deals. We just don't have haircuts right now.
That's a fact. Yo, Caesar, bro, I appreciate you.